The Nikon-NOOR Academies have been happening for many years throughout Europe and elsewhere. And it's a wonderful opportunity for us, especially here in Poland. We've been here before and we're excited to be here again.
At NOOR, we're constantly trying to challenge ourselves, and we have decided, in the wake of the women's rights movement in Poland, that this location would be perfect to hold our first ever academy for only female and non-binary identifying participants.
We've been watching, along with the rest of the world, events unfolding in Poland, and specifically around abortion rights, and we were amazed by the passion and unity of the protest for women's rights, human rights, frankly, around abortion. And so it made us decide that perhaps we could dedicate a workshop devoted to a sphere that perhaps some of the trauma and other issues tied to narratively facing humans here. And so we decided to make the space dedicated to women and non-binary photographers.
While we've been here, we've worked with editing, we've done a lot of structural changes to help understand someone's vision and help them move to the next level of where they want their work to go.
It's really the first time that we got such a number of diverse applications, because usually people who find NOOR are hardcore photojournalists who want to cover conflict. And for the first time ever, people from completely diverse art backgrounds, but also the photojournalists applied. We got an incredible mix. We even got a girl who started her presentation by saying, "I'm not a photographer," which is a brave thing to do at the NOOR Nikon Academy, but it's really welcome.
Getting to know people one-on-one and understanding where their general passion is or lies and where they want to take it with photography, with visual storytelling, and how their audience can grow, or how they can make their audience feel like they're really reaching out to them specifically to get to the reason why they do this in the first place.
Many of the projects that people came here with perhaps were a little bit abstract, a little, in some cases, navel-gazing, to be critical.
There are some projects that seemed very simple. For example, a project about a tower. And then you understand that it's not just this tower. There's history and symbolism and a lot that went behind this obsession with a simple structure.
A documentary photographer from Germany covering the story of third generation immigrant kids who are trying to find their path in the German society and challenges they're facing. It's a long-term project she started at school, and she bravely said that she will photograph them as long as they're not tired of her.
There's one project that made participants cry from the first day about domestic abuse and a personal story. One of my favorite ones is basically, she had a psychiatrist diagnose collectively former Soviet republics and how apathy is actually attached to fear. And so she's analyzing in a very creative way. So a lot of the participants are going deeper conceptually in what they want to say and even finding a different form of photography that they want to express it in.
I don't think photographers are normally good editors for their own work, but some are, and I took this inspiration from a Greek photographer, Yannis Berakis from Reuters, who unfortunately passed away a couple of years back.
In some cases, certain photographers go hyper-local to a point that there's no universality. And if you're wanting to get this out into the world, it can be so localized that nobody can relate to it. The balance is reminding people it's your story. The more interesting is the more intimate and personal it goes. That's how it's going to be unique. So making it truly local, but finding those universal themes.
The problem I see often with work that people edit, they concentrate on like the most beautiful pictures. They want to impress us. They throw out imperfect pictures. In reality, what we need in a story is a flow of narrative. And in the flow of narrative, sometimes you need other plans than your amazing pictures. You need a narration.
I am showing my most recent documentary project, which focuses on gender identity in post-communist countries. So last year I travelled along the former Iron Curtain from the north of Central Eastern Europe, from Estonia on the border with Russia, all the way to Romania and Bulgaria. And I interviewed and documented 102 different individuals. There were women, non-binary people and transgender people, to better understand how this shadow of communism influences gender identity in contemporary society.
Here I'm working on my project Future Kids, which I have been doing for the past 5 years. It's a project about the children of guest workers, of Muslim guest workers who came to Germany in the 80s mainly. And here I'm working on developing a good edit and also on seeing how text can be integrated in the work, in the project.
I got accepted to Nikon-NOOR with a different project. I changed the subject, and I come back to the photos from January from this year, and I started working on it and developing the project, which is about the sense of judgment and the critique to which we are exposed to. It's mainly based on objects. The objects are in the ice cubes. These are the tools of the correction, so the tools which are used to alterate the body image. For example, the nose clipper or the smile corrector, which makes you smile more, or the pad heels, which make you higher, and all this type of contraceptions or utensils.
NOOR Nikon Academies have been running for years, and we recently did an inventory of photographers we trained over years in the region, and we were really amazed and proud. I'm not saying they just grew up as authors because of NOOR Nikon Masterclass, but we are so extremely proud to have participated and have nourished these authors to be ready to cover the current events.
I've gained so much more from this workshop than I could have expected, not just connections with the other participants, but just interacting with the tutors, with Nikon, exploring ideas, helping me finalize, but also push my project further in directions where I didn't expect it to go, which has been really inspiring and really exciting, actually.
So this course really has helped me to find a new focus, to see what there needs to be still done, and where I can push further and what I can intensify. So this has been really helpful so far.
It's not only about talking about the photography itself, but also talking about the idea and concept behind it. And working with Andrei is it's amazing.
Having a space where there are women and non-binary photographers, it's created a place where there has been a lot of collaboration and a lot of safety, and maybe a little less competition, but more inspiration. And I think that is something that we've really tried to encourage as we've moved along in this space. It's been beautiful.